Yeah, what if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me. When you thought that I was done, you ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn. Feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. Oh, yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Happy Friday, September 16th. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange Podcast, the only podcast you need to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. Even beyond the Ozarks this week. We've got a heck of a show set up for you tonight. Sit back, relax. Let's get into this. What's happening, Captain?
Hey Chris, how's it going?
It's going. Little bit of a, I don't know, wild and crazy week.
It seems that every week that goes on, it gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah. Just a quick audio check with you. Everything sounding good now, or still got
I'm
an echo?
still getting a lag.
Still getting a lag or an echo?
Yeah, echo back and forth.
Okay. It's got to be something to do with maybe I don't know. Give me a mic check, buddy.
Testing, testing,
Do you still have the echo?
testing. Yep.
Oh, I don't know. It could be your mic setting too, because you do have that built in. So that being said, we are going to talk about some of these local items that are coming up this week, and then we have a pretty nice interview with Captain Al, not Captain Morgan. Although I could use a good session with Captain Morgan. But no, Captain Al, you turned me on to this guy. You guys did some stuff with the family, and it looked like a great time, buddy.
Yeah, Captain Al from Beyond the Ozarks. So looking forward to that interview.
Okay. Well, tell me what we got on deck starting out.
Well, I was just thinking about this since it's Friday night. Randy has his dinner and auction tonight, so they're probably just wrapping up right now.
Yeah, your audio is breaking up tonight. I don't know if that's the interwebs or what. You said Randy Murray has what? His dinner and auctions going on tonight. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we wish him luck, and hopefully we'll get an update from him on how that's doing. And turnout and stuff. I wish him luck on that. I know that's a big thing that he's putting together with all that food, man. I mean, I made some Philly cheesesteaks tonight though, so I'm still doing pretty good in my belly.
There you go, man.
So you want me to go through this list since you're getting that little weird echo, and we can probably try to sort that out? All right. So September 18th, we have, what is it? The Nature Expo. Sunday, September 18th, 10 to 2, the Pavilion Beach at Lake Avalon, 105 Lancaster Drive, Bella Vista, Arkansas. Join us for a first-time event hosted by NWA nature-loving groups. Learn about different birds and local area birding trips. Pick up some gardening tips, view some amazing photographs, and find out about local flora and fauna and more. Free event with free raffle prize drawing. Come meet and talk with the folks from the Bella Vista Bluebird Society, Snappy's View, Bella Vista Garden Club, Burksdale ACSP, Northwest Arkansas Master Naturalists, Bella Vista Birders, and the Bluebird Shed. So that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, it should be a great time. I should be out there Sunday, so.
Awesome. Let's see. What else do we have? City Council work session. Oh, this is going to be a good one right here. So, I have not got to look at the packet yet. I probably could pull it up during the break or during the interview, and we can talk about some of that after we come back from the interview. But September 19th, Monday, 5:30 p.m. City Council work session is taking place. They're going to discuss proposals or challenges and discuss items in detail, as well as request further information from city staff. No voting or public comment is allowed at work sessions. Meetings are held at Bella Vista City Hall, 101 Town Center, unless otherwise posted prior to the meeting time. So I would say be there or be square, and listen to these, I don't know, shenanigans of still trying to piecemeal another proposal together, man. So, I don't know anymore, bro. Thursday, 9/22, 22nd, Coffee with a Cop. I like to see that this stuff's finally on the calendar, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at that as like a small win. We willed it into existence or something. I don't know. Coffee with a Cop brings police officers and community members they serve together to discuss issues over coffee and better get to know one another. Getting to know you. Join them at the Village Bible Church, 1591 Forest Hills Boulevard.
I promised I'd be out there.
All right. Bring the donut holes, man. And your inflation buster deal of the week, $10 cost plus.
Man,
They got a whole boneless ribeye, $4.18 a pound. $4.18 a pound. They got pork loins, $1.75 a pound, 80% lean ground. That chili meat, man, it's chili. Chili season's getting around the corner too, bro.
Yeah.
Look at that pork ribs, man, 92 cents a pound. That's pretty dang good. And, you know, I'm sorry, man. Their Mega Charmin rolls are looking pretty pricey at $10.96 each. Remember, we will never forget that toilet paper shortage. We will never forget.
No, we won't.
And your favorite, Mark. Your favorite. Oh, no. We're not there yet. We have the mayoral forum. Time to reserve tickets. Randy Murray for Bella Vista Mayor had posted this on September 14th. Time to reserve tickets for the mayoral forum. Limited number of tickets to attend the forum will be made available to the general public at no charge, but since seating is limited, tickets must be reserved on first-come, first-served basis by emailing the Weekly Vista at weeklyvista@nwaonline.com. There's a limit of 4 tickets per reservation, and Randy said, if you're going, let them know that you got tickets, man. Get out there and show your support for these mayoral candidates. I know that they are going to have a panel of people that ask questions that they're putting together. I think there was an email address that you could email in the news article to have some questions possibly considered, whatever that means. So, yeah, I think that, I don't know. It feels like a little late in the game to do this, but I'm happy to do that. I know you had reached out to the Weekly Vista and reserved tickets for a media pass, basically, for NWA Exchange podcast. Yeah. We will be taking out the 3-camera system and setting up a live stream broadcast. So if you cannot attend or you want to attend virtually, follow our Facebook page, follow our YouTube channel, and we will be posting out when we go live out there.
Yep. Look forward to it.
And the last one.
What would that be?
The Testy Fest. The Testicle Festival, October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, 2022, Bentonville, Arkansas at the fairgrounds. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You can go and listen to 14 bands and munch on some balls, man. It's going to be a ball. You know, so, I mean, they got a band promo video. I don't know if I can play that. We might get copyright strike, but they've got Eureka Strings, Undy 500, the Tumbleweeds Get in the Truck, Ladies Oil Wrestling, Dirty Roses, Campfire Time. They got Dance Monkey Dance. As a band, the Ben Miller Band. Sunday, they got a motorcycle show, ball throwing contest. I don't know, ball throwing contest.
Full slate, man.
Yeah, they got a little bit of everything going on there. Ladies, oil wrestling, ball eating contest. Eat balls with the best. How many bull testicles can you eat in 10 minutes? The winner gets $500, man. Look, if you're a ball gobbler, this is the place to be. Earn that $500. Inflation is kicking everybody's butt, y'all. Get out there, eat some balls, win that $500. Start practicing now. Just say it. I don't think that this is a family-friendly event, man. There's a wet T-shirt contest. Oh, my word. I'm surprised that this isn't going on at Blowing Springs, private event and all. Oh, I'm a little too much, I know. So that is what we have on deck for this week, this upcoming week, or then some. We are going to go to a quick B-rake, and we'll come back with the interview. And while we're doing that, I'm going to try to get your mic situation sorted. All right. Be right back.
All right.
It must be the way I walk. It must be the way I talk. You know I got something to say. And I can keep going for days, yeah. Call me up if you need a little sauce, baby. Follow me if you get a little lost. I'ma put the money in the toe on the road. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, the whole day. I'm just weighing all my options. Looking at my watch, hit me back when it's popping. I've been on top till my stock never dropping. And this is for the ones that been watching. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck to the.
So, Mark, it's been another week. You had a pretty interesting outing this week. Tell me about it.
Yeah, earlier in the week, I had an opportunity to take a guided boat tour by Beyond the Ozarks. Captain Al. I went out with Michelle, myself, and Quinn, and had an absolutely great time. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Captain Al is just phenomenal person, just a great guy. We enjoyed the boat tour. Quinn got a lot of beautiful pictures. I urge everybody to go out and check him out. And I'm so happy to have him here tonight so we can have an interview with him. I think these small businesses, and we talked about this before, we need to support these businesses for them to continue to grow. And so without further ado, we got Captain Al here.
Let's go ahead and bring Captain Al on.
Hey man, thank you for that intro.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate that. It was a pleasure having you, your wife, and your son Quinn on the boat. It was just as fun for me as it was you.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Al. What got you into the business and doing the guided boat tours? And
it's always what I've done since I've been very young. 18 years old, I was in the Gulf of Mexico making a living. I'm a tuna fisherman by trade. I'm a 100-ton master captain on the United States Coast Guard. My favorite thing to do was take the tourists into the swamps to explore nature. And that by far was my most giving of anything that I could think of as far as what I've done with my life is just being in nature, taking people in nature and explaining nature to folks and letting them feel nature because it's phenomenal. And the natural state is properly named. So there was a transition going from New Orleans to here due to me being injured in 2017, and I was diagnosed with a rare disease called complex regional pain syndrome. I was losing a fight. I was going for the non-invasive route, and the only place in the world that treats it is here in Fayetteville, Dr. Katinka de Vandermew at the Spiro Clinic, also known as Neurological Relief Center. So she saved my life. And the transition from there to here, it was a blessing that the White River is, that it existed here near to where I needed my treatment. I live here now to be close to my doctor. anytime if a needle prick could set off my symptoms and flares and things of that nature. It's something that doesn't go away. It's not curable. It lives inside of you. Um, so yeah, it was a blessing that I was injured due to the fact that my son's flourishing here. Um, and I still had the ability to run my tours.
Yeah.
I've taken thousands of people into the swamp over my time, thousands of people tuna fishing. So it's always what I've done.
Nice. How many people can you accommodate on a tour?
My boats are United States Coast Guard certified and inspected small passenger vessels for the capacity of 10.
Okay.
I can take 10 people per vessel. I have 2 vessels. I
Okay.
built the vessels back home. I was hurt in 2017. I ended up here in September of 2018 after having a lot of failures in treatment, hyperbaric chamber units and uh, lumbar sympathetic uh, lumbar sympathetic nerve blocks. And I ended up here in 2018 in a wheelchair, really bad off. Dr. Katinka got me on my feet. I was walking by the end of 2018,
Oh wow.
just starting to walk, and went home and took on this device called Arc Wave. It's a neurological. Um, it pulsates at 500 beats per second. 500 beats per second. It compounds fresh oxygenated blood to the affected area. It also beats off atrophy and has the ability to regenerate damaged nerve endings. So when I left out here in 2018, I left with the machine, and I was still using the machine to enhance my walking. By let's say September 2019, I said I'm building some swamp boats and joining a established swamp touring company that wanted to expand. He
Okay.
sought me out, built the boats, and was ready to launch March 2020, and COVID hit.
Oh.
So when COVID hit, Louisiana shut down
Yep.
tourism, and we took the boats. Well, we decided that we found a nicer place to raise our son. New Orleans just really isn't the place to raise your kids anymore, in my opinion. We love our culture, we love our people, we love where we're from. But we brought the boats over here, and it was just a battle. I mean, knockdown after knockdown. COVID just lasted, and the tourism industry took a big hit.
Yeah.
Also, with that being said, to get permitted through the Corps of Engineers was an extensive process, even with all my credentials.
Yep.
That took 7 months.
I hear that is a
So,
nightmare for anybody out there trying to get a dock, or the property line changes. They got so many setbacks. But I mean, I always hear anything with the Corps of Engineers is a challenge just to even get the process started, let alone make it through it.
well, this was another level even for them. Um, when they found out I was on the river, like tour one, it hit social media, and they called the marina owner and said, "Hey, who's this guy?" Shut him down, and called me and said, "Hey, man, we don't know what you're doing." I said, "I'm doing what I always do. I'm giving nature tours." And they were like, "Well, and I'm fully insured. I had liability on my vessels, premise liability on the docks. I do it right. My boat's United States Coast Guard certified inspector. I'm a United States Coast Guard 100-ton master." They had an issue with basically the touring company that lost those folks in Missouri,
Yep.
and
The duck
boats.
tours.
Yeah.
Yep.
the duck boats. That's their jurisdiction. So they had to fill me out. They had to go through all my background checks and all that kind of stuff. And see who I was. And it just was a lengthy process, to the point there was never a guarantee. There was never like, we're going to let you do this. It ended up being basically a round table meeting with all the higher level U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, um, head guys and ladies in Little Rock, to decide whether or not they were even going to let me do it. So, it just got worse and worse and worse. But once they gave me my permit, that was the winter of, I think, 2021. So nothing much is going on then, even though we do tour all year. It's beautiful out there. I'm always out there. Before I put a single soul on my boat, I was running that river nonstop in the heaviest of winds, which are pretty much null and void, because the water, the seas can't get up to a capacity where it's even dangerous. I've been out there before, and 40 knot winds with a 6-inch chop on the water, because all those rock faces and bluffs and all those curves doesn't allow it to get any momentum.
Yeah.
Learning the water at its lowest level, learning the water at its highest level. I did all that before I put a single soul. So really, May of 2022, I guess, is when we started.
Yeah.
So well beyond
October.
that 14 days to flatten the curve, right? Well beyond that.
Yeah.
Well, Mark took some video while he was out there. I'm gonna play the video. We did insert your logo onto the video so people know who was actually driving the boat. But tell us a little bit about this video footage as it plays.
Well, that's a beautiful video of some gorgeous bluffs. They're majestic. They're very powerful. You feel the power of nature just sitting next to those rock faces. You could do that all day. Well, at least I can, and just feel content. But we go way beyond that. We get into the nitty gritty of things and get back in those inlets, and we all work as a team searching for wildlife. And it's actually a safari there.
Yeah, we actually stopped Chris on several inlets, and he just pulled right in there, and we were able to get up close to the shore, and Quinn was able to get some just great shots of a lot of birds, and it's phenomenal. I can tell Captain Al takes great pride in what he does. We were on there. I mean, he was talking a little bit about everything, and you can tell someone that takes passion in what they do, and it's definitely that's what you do. That's your thing,
It's
and
what I
special.
do.
Yeah, it's very special, and we're very happy to be on there.
It goes beyond the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees. I mean, I'm very versed in aquatic insects, fish, reptiles, amphibians, mammals, rodents. I do take pride in knowing a lot about any particular species, and as I stated before, it's not something that I just started doing. There is wildlife that's new to me that I love enjoying, learning more about. And when I could go on tour and pass that on to somebody, to where they say, I never knew that, that makes me feel good, because then I'm doing my studies, I'm doing what I should do.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it was awesome, and we're going to do it again in the fall. There's no doubt about that. I did tell you that, and we're going to get out with you again, probably in October, hopefully late October.
Awesome, man. Yeah, the change of leaves are beautiful out there. I've been out there with the snow. Snow's gorgeous when it's snowing out there.
Yeah, for sure. So, how do people get in touch with you? I mean, what's the easiest way? I know you're all over the place. You're out in the water a lot. I know that.
Yeah.
Website. You have a Facebook page, Instagram, right? I mean, what?
And I'll be honest with you too, Mark. I I'm not very social media savvy. This
Okay.
was, this is the times we live in. I'm 54 years old, so I'm
Yeah.
behind the times with that stuff. But I do have a Facebook page. I do have a website, beyondtheozarks.com. My phone number is attached to that. And the booking system works well. Folks go in there, they see what we're doing, and we get a lot of bookings without anybody ever calling. They
Wow.
they just they just book, and I think we're explaining ourselves well. And folks like you and folks that's been on the tour help out with that.
Yeah.
People writing reviews. A lot of word of mouth is going around, um, and I'm very thankful for it. I'm thankful for this community.
Yeah.
Um, it's a very beautiful place with a lot of beautiful people.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. That's what drew me into this area too. It's absolutely stunning. So is your son going to take over for you someday?
My son, a lot of people brag on their children. That's what we're supposed to do. But
Right.
my son is a special breed. My son, since 5 years old, I bought a 16-foot weldcraft with a 25 Yamaha on it. And my son has been driving a boat since that age. We lived on a 300-acre lake. He would take me and my friends fishing all the way
Wow.
to the point to where when he was 13, he got his boating certificate, and he was legal beagle to run the waterways where we were at 13. And I mean, I literally could drop him off, back the boat in the water, let him go, he'd fish all day, and I'd meet him at the dock at the end of the day and pick him up. He got stopped a lot, and they would go through his he got known for just being the 13-year-old kid out there fishing. And yeah, the boat that I'm running, my son now is 16. He's been running those particular boats since I built them in 20, 2019. He could give you a tour just like I give you a tour. I literally
Wow.
That's
could let
awesome.
him take you on a tour on the White River,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't even worry about it. But
Wow.
here you have to be, I think you have to be 16. But
Okay.
his license does transfer over here. He has a passion for it too. An avid diver, an avid fisherman, just a wonderful kid. I love him so much.
Yeah, that's
He's
awesome.
a
You should be
water
proud
bug,
of him,
man. He
So
loves the
yeah, he
water.
could take over the business if he wants to.
man.
That's awesome. Well, Northwest Arkansas has a lot to offer for any person that loves the outdoors, and I mean, there's so much to do here, and I'm glad you found a home here, and
Yeah.
and I'm glad to see that you're up and running. And we wanted to talk with you and kind of get the word out about this. I know, Mark's son does the photography stuff, and he told me about this. I said, well, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
And Mark, maybe we'll have to, try to make it out there in October when you guys go.
Yeah.
I'll bring the
We'll get out
camera
Oh,
there.
out too.
absolutely. Change of the leaves out there is phenomenal. And Quinn, his son, I've been around a lot of professionals in my life, whether it be professional fishermen, professional photographers, producers, things of that nature. He is an incredible um, person, but to see him actually take the photos that he produced the other day, he did it with such ease. I mean, literally, like when we'd come up on a subject, he would take the photo, and I would be saying to myself, like, that bird is still sitting there, that osprey is still sitting there. Why isn't he clicking away? And then when the bird would take off, you'd just see him pull his camera up, take a few snaps, and just put his camera down. Like, I've done that. What's next? And
Yeah.
to see the photos that he took with like
Yeah.
such ease, it wasn't challenging for him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got an eye. He definitely has an eye for photography. I've noticed that about him, and he's
Yeah.
produces some great
enjoys it, man.
stuff.
He really enjoys doing that. And I've seen your pictures too, Chris. They're phenomenal. They're really.
I'm more of was it spray and pray though, man? Like, you know, if you get 5,000 photos in a day, you got a couple of them that turned out.
That's me. I'm spray and pray too, Chris.
Yeah, I do a little bit of the drone photography as well, and I know the fall colors out there on the lake are beautiful, and on the river. I did one of the Arkansas Golden Gate Bridge last fall, and it was just beautiful out there. So seeing it from the boat and the water level might offer some different perspective for me.
Oh, no doubt. Absolutely, no doubt. It's majestic. The White River / Beaver Lake is just a majestic place, and I just knew it. I did a lot of studying on the White River before I ended up at War Eagle Marina, and it's just where I wanted to be. It reminded me of home. To me, it's the furthest away from people, closest to nature that you can get, in this populated area, and it delivers every trip, every single tour. You're going to see something different.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time, and best of luck to you. And we will be in touch in October, I'm sure, to come out and take a ride with you. And Mark, you want to close out?
Yeah, thanks again, Captain Al. Really appreciate your time, and we enjoyed it, and I hope more people reach out to you and do these tours. And like Chris said, we're going to be out there in October, man. We'll see you, and we'll do that tour.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your time tonight.
Right.
You're a couple great guys.
Oh, I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Take care,
You
Captain
too.
Al.
Have a good night, Chris.
So, Mark, it's been another week.
It must be the way I walk. It must be the way I talk. You know I got something to say, and I can keep going for days. Yeah, call me up if you need a little sauce, baby. Follow me if you get a little lost. I'ma put the money in the toll on the road. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Boss up, come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck, Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I got what it takes, got what it takes. I don't want a slice, want the whole cake. Make the money move, that's my forte. Then I'ma take off for the whole day. I'm just weighing all my options. Looking at my watch, hit me back when it's popping. I've been on top, cause my stock never dropping. And this is for the ones that been watching. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck to the. Boss up. Yeah. Come on, boss up. Go ahead. Yeah. Come on, boss up. Come on, yeah. Never been down on my luck. Never been. Never been down on my luck. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Never been down on my luck. Never been down on my luck. Yeah. Watch me. Boss up. Watch me. Watch me. Boss up. Yeah. Never been down on my luck.
Gotta hydrate, kids.
And we are back from that interview and break, and I think we got the audio sitch squared away.
Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape.
All right.
Man, Captain Al is he's overcome so much. Just a great guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's just,
Has a true
you
love for what he does too, man. You can just tell
know,
when you talk to somebody. Like I said, I always say it. How do you get to know somebody? By sitting down and talking with them. That's the
yeah,
easiest way. And you could tell the guy's passionate. He had he's had his hiccups, man. You know, with COVID and health problems and
yeah,
uh, starting a venture with an established touring company and then moving and then 14 days to flatten the curve turned into 2.5 years. But I'm glad to see he's up and running. It looks
yeah.
like, I mean, from what you've told me, from the reviews on his website, the just some of the video footage I saw out there. I mean, like that's just a good way to relax and enjoy the beauty of Northwest Arkansas. I know the lake was built by, it was built by the Corps of Engineers, man-made dam, but that thing
Right,
is a huge reservoir, which services, the water utility for all of Northwest Arkansas, pretty much.
right. Yeah,
Unless you have a well dug, right? I mean, that's about
yeah,
it. But there's a lot of rich history out there. I don't know if you've ever been out there on the lake when it's been really low, and actually got to see the amphitheater that's underwater right now out of Montenay.
no, I haven't seen that.
Man, I've got a boat stuck on one of the pillars of the amphitheater. But when the
Wow,
water was real low, you could like go. I think it was like 3 levels down into the amphitheater. But
wow.
when it was an old hotel and resort, and they had an
Yeah,
amphitheater and they did plays and stuff. There's a lot of rich history in Northwest Arkansas, and especially out on that lake. And
yeah,
it's awesome to see that somebody's actually like trying to educate people on the rich history and the natural beauty and everything that Northwest Arkansas has to offer.
yeah. Everything that drew him there kind of draws us out too. I mean, we're the same thing. We like our space. We like to be in a rural area.
Yeah.
You know, we love
I
the
don't care if I got septic or not.
well, we just love the outdoors, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we like this area, and he's the same way, he likes to be away from the city and be in that environment. And I can understand why,
Yeah. Yeah. I can too, man. Every day that passes, it gets a little sadder,
Yeah,
but being out a little bit further away from people um, really makes you appreciate life that much more and what nature has to offer
yeah,
to
for
us.
sure. Yeah, for
The
sure.
fact that his kid, is out, running his own boat at the age of 13 and fishing his rear off and stuff like that, that was awesome. I mean, like he basically made a name for himself. He's that kid again, driving by with
Five,
the
5 years old, I was still crapping in my Pampers, man. He had a
I
17
let
foot.
Gunner drive our boat at like 5, but it was like me hovering real bad. Don't touch the throttle. You steer left, right. I mean, like, but it's like, I ain't turning him loose, bro. I'm not turning him loose at all. Right? But
Oh man.
so we got some national topics to get into,
Oh
Mark.
man, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Man, there's a
Yeah,
lot of poo poo dropping this week.
yeah,
Um, So one of them, you ever, the whole vaccine mandate for federal employees and federal contractors,
yes, I
etc.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
yeah.
there was some news that came out this week. Let me go ahead and pop on over. Oh, Uncle Joe, man. Biden administration decides not to enforce the COVID-19 vaccine for federal contractors. The Biden administration has left it to contracting companies to enforce its federal Vax or Axe policy for contract employees. The federal government will take no action to implement or enforce Executive Order 14042, a government notice for contractors stated. And it was signed by President Joe Biden September 9th, 2021. I remember when that was signed, requiring federal contractors to be vaccinated against COVID-19. That means that if you apply for a federal contract or you do business with the federal government, then all your employees had to be vaccinated. Regardless
Wow.
of what the legality of it was, um, they are now deciding um, as of, what was the date that this was written? I got to go out of web reader mode. September 14th, they're not going to enforce that anymore. But that being said, I did read a news article where a military person, Navy, I believe it was is basically being prevented from PCSing, so permanent change of station, because of the vaccine. Obviously exercising their right to religious freedom to not take the vaccine. So therefore, there is a punishment action basically allowing them to not have a permanent change of station, to be located with their spouse who had a permanent change of station. So, it's either all or none, boys. I mean, it's all or none. Boys and girls. We'll say boys and girls.
Yeah.
But what happened to the pandemic of the unvaccinated? Remember that divisive rhetoric that came out of the commander-in-chief's mouth more than once.
Right.
It was divisive. It was trust the science, right? The science is in, bro. People are getting blood clots. People are, sudden adult death syndrome, heart problems in children. The list goes on. And the more time that happens, the more data will come out. I'm sure. I hope and pray that accurate data comes out. But what I'm saying is this was such an heavy-handed approach that I'm very saddened by the amount of people that they were hypnotized by fear.
So what happens to the people that actually were discharged for not doing it, right? Did they give them a discharge because they didn't?
They fired them. They fired a lot of people. I mean, like in Arkansas, people were fired, right? Like so Mercy fired a bunch of in a pandemic, right? You're firing healthcare workers who worked worked for at least a year before this thing was even ready.
Right.
On I'm good, bro. Right? So now we're seeing those lawsuits starting to come to fruition as well, where, I think it was the Dallas or Houston healthcare network, one of those two. They basically, there was a settlement done for those workers that were terminated for, standing up for their rights and stuff, religious freedoms, etc. Right? And so that's my thing is if you filed for a religious exemption and they denied it and terminated you, you have a constitutional right to sue the crap out of these people for lost wages, any emotional damages that you may have inflicted, and the financial hardship it put you in, especially during that time. And now on top of it, look at inflation, etc. There has to be a reasonable accommodation for people who choose to exercise their religious views. Like if you had that conversation with your God, and I say your God because we don't have a national religion in this country, right? We don't have, it's between you and your maker. Right. And your higher power. I hope that everybody, is right with the right one. But what I'm saying is that's a religious freedom that you have. And you don't have the right to get other people sick. Well, you don't have the right to go around, I'm going to shut up because I'm going to get in trouble. What I'm saying is there's not a right. It's not my responsibility to protect others from something I don't have. Right? If I feel sick, I stay away from people. I'm smart enough to do that, man. You know, I stay away from people. Right. But you're assuming that that's not good enough. But the shot that, people rightfully so were skeptical of, is going to protect the world, right? I mean, everybody who's had the shot, I think, has had, a relapse in COVID, man, or gotten COVID. There was a study in the UK which basically directly correlates boosters with influx in COVID. Don't know
So
if
what
it's a
happens?
test. I don't know if it's people actually getting sick. I know people are getting sick from what they're calling COVID. People are dying, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is people do get sick. People die, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. This is strictly for federal contractors. Active duty soldiers, um, were they forced to take the vaccine regardless?
There is a group of people that were basically forced to take it or some type of repercussion, right?
So what's the repercussion? Discharge?
A general discharge or terminated from service.
Okay.
In some cases, refusal to follow orders. It just depends, right? It depends on
Right.
how the chain of command wants to deal with that situation.
Right.
There was a lawsuit from I think several Navy SEALs. I need to check on that one because I'm curious. I think that one was going to make it up to a federal court. We just, like that, and that's the sad thing about it, man, is that it's gotten to this level where I mean, we're seeing it in other divisions of the government right now, and I know people are like, oh, well, the government would never do that to you, man. You got that almost right. The government should never do that to you.
Hmm.
Politicians should not do that to you, right? Corporate CEOs should not do that to you, right? But we're not living in those times.
Right. Right.
We're seeing this heavy-handed tactic happen all over the world, bro.
Yeah. It's divisive rhetoric, man, when it comes down to it. It's just to divide the country, And now, knowing what we know now, I think people are waking up and understanding what's going on. And it's a real shame. Like I said before, it's affected friends and family members. And it's sad,
I ran
man.
across a video. I'm going to find it and I'll post it to our I'll try to post it to our Facebook page. But it brought up some valid points. You remember back during the peak of the pandemic when it's like stay home, save lives, right? And our hospitals are overwhelmed. They showed all these news articles, and then they directly correlated the timeline from that news article. And remember all them TikTok videos of healthcare workers dancing, doing choreography, and all this other stuff? Like I was appalled by seeing that. When you're sitting there saying that the hospitals are overrun, then you got people coming out with blown up gloves and they're doing the J-Lo booty shake, a bunch of nurses in the hallways, and they're doing conga lines and choreographed dances and stuff like that, and carrying effigies of dead bodies down the hallway to music and stuff. This was just insanity to me.
Right.
It did not speak professionalism at all. And on top of it, if you're that stressed out and overworked, but you got time to do this, there's just something wrong about all that.
Right.
It never set well with me. And I have to find that because I remember the news stories directly correlated, like how bad it was. These are news articles. And then you got a TikTok video of healthcare workers dancing and partying.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I get stress relief and stuff like that, but this is like the problem with social media in general and people doing the sensationalized skits or whatnot. It delegitimizes your organization. Like, I mean, like if you run a hospital, you should be like, man, if this situation is this bad, you guys shouldn't be in the hallway dancing and doing physical activity because one of you could get it, right?
Right. Right.
Just saying, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I a lot of this I feel, I feel like it was just psychological control over people, man. Keep them in fear, keep them entertained, keep them glued to the screen.
Yeah.
Have them not go to church because we shut down the churches. Have them disband any type of family get-togethers because family's not important. What's important is staying home and saving lives.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I fundamentally, absolutely, unequivocally disagree there, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
Feels like we get cheated out of 2 years of our lives, basically, you know?
well, just add it to the tab, bro. Just add it to the tab. So, moving on, y'all. Mule. Here we go. Massachusetts Dems react after DeSantis transports migrants
That's
into
funny.
ritzy Martha's Vineyards, evil and inhumane. Oh, one of the local representatives called the action evil and inhumane, but said the migrants were taken care of. Kari Lake, GOP nominee for governor of Arizona, shares her experience for campaign trail and strategy for dealing with the mainstream media on Tucker Carlson tonight. Lawmakers in Massachusetts were tasked with caring for dozens of migrants Wednesday after Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sent two planes full of migrants to Martha's Vineyard in a ritzy island located in Dukes County. Doesn't Obama live in Martha's Vineyard?
Yes, he does.
Oh,
Yeah.
He had Snoop Dogg up in there, right? The partying and stuff like that. He had that big old birthday pass.
Yeah, they had something going
Like
on.
he got the coof too, man. I think he got the coof after that party.
Yeah,
man.
that big breakout. Yeah, yeah. So people that aren't familiar with Martha's Vineyard, there's only two ways to access that island in Massachusetts. One by plane, the other one is by what do they call it? Ferry. So
Okay.
you only have two ways to get on there, man. So they're probably looking at 18,000 people on that island. So, you know, what do you quick 50 people? Maybe if DeSantis can send over, maybe 1,000, a couple thousand over there and level it off a little bit would be great. But hey, our media relations, NWA Exchange Media Relations, did reach out for comment to the governor, Charlie Baker in Boston. We called him, asked him for some feedback and asked him what his thoughts were about it. Also reached out to the director of media relations. They never got back to us. So crickets again.
Shocker. Right? Shocker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man, personally, I know Ron DeSantis did this. He was making a point, right? But what I found like just more appalling is a Martha Vineyards resident had reacted to this, and the Daily Wire posted a Twitter video of a Martha's Vineyard resident responding to what Governor Ron DeSantis did. And I want to pull this up and let everybody see. It's posted on Daily Wire's Twitter. I think they posted it September 15th at 3:03 p.m. Let's go back over to the Webby share. And this lady basically put it in the best context that I think a lot of people that live in Martha's Vineyard probably feel, about the crisis at the border that, Texans have been complaining about. And it's not a problem until it's a problem in your backyard. And she basically stated this. I mean, so let's just roll this beautiful bean footage.
So,
what are the most difficult challenges right now?
the difficult challenges are we have, at some point in time, they have to move from here to somewhere else, right? We cannot, we don't
It's
have
quintessential. like they're like quintessential. Not in my backyard, man. Like I mean,
We're not going to feed them. We're not housing them. We need to get them off the island immediately. You made a good point about Obama's house. Then what was it? A couple days ago, I talked to you about. You made a good point. He's got that huge mansion. He should be able to take in those 50 people, man.
dude, I mean, he was able to erect like massive tents for his party and stuff, man. He could definitely hook up a tent city there and not even be bothered by them,
Yeah, yeah.
Not in my backyard though, right? It's in your backyard, Texas.
Yeah,
it's in your backyard.
I'm hoping,
Florida.
Texas and Florida, send up a couple thousand more and try to fill up that island, man.
I really did enjoy Ron DeSantis's response as well. Let me kick over to us real quick, and I'll pull that one up because he did a pretty decent job at responding to some of the accusations of the media.
Well, you got to keep in mind too, Chris. They've been sending illegal immigrants overnight in different states in the country, early morning hours, and releasing them.
I know.
And not even acknowledging or letting the public know about it. And even the senators and even the governors aren't aware of it until they're actually on the ground.
You know, one of the
Here's the bad thing, though, right? Is Governor Ron DeSantis is being attacked right now, saying that he's using them as political pawns, right? But I don't see this as any different than the Democratic Party using them as political pawns every election cycle.
Right.
Right. I now the third or fourth time trying to pass mass amnesty for the 11, 12, 13, 20, I don't know. Nobody really freaking knows the number, because once they make it into the interior of the United States, they're lost and gone until they pop up on the radar again, right? So we don't know the true number, but the whole, let's just give everybody that's been here legal status directly is using them as a political pawn so that you get Democratic votes.
Right. Right.
So the
disservice
hypocrisy is just freaking astounding, man.
Yeah, it's a disservice too, Chris, to all the immigrants that came into this country the right way.
Yes.
Went through the whole process. Went through sometimes it took 5, 6, 7 years for these people to get their citizenship, and how proud they were.
Thousands of dollars, sometimes upwards of 10 years to get it. Multiple interviews, multiple visits, you name it, man.
And they feel the same way. They feel the same way. They feel like, hey, I worked hard to get, into this country, and it took this long, and now people are just rolling over the border. And like you said, there's no way of documenting these people.
They see me rolling, they hating.
Well, someone gets arrested, then they go to run the fingerprints, and no background. We don't have anything, and we don't know where they're from.
So here's what I would say is, with DeSantis doing this, he is making a point, right? He is making a very valid point. Is you don't want them in your backyard because you live in an exclusive private island where the only way in is ferry or plane.
Yeah.
But you're not even you're a public servant, bro. You're supposed to be looking out for the people, right?
Right.
But you're looking out for your own backyard. Anywhere but here, right? Because I live in this exclusive island, right? But the people that are actually having to deal with it, and the communities, the taxpayers, the medical systems, the education systems, the roads, the whole 9 yards, right?
Well, they don't do anything about it.
They don't do nothing. So with him doing that, he's making a point, but I also disagree with I disagree with this activity, right? Because we have laws on the books, right, that say thou shalt not be in this country illegally. Right? Those must be documented either via a visa, travel visa, work visa, green card, some type of legal documentation allowing you to be here, right? And so for them, these governors to not say, no, you're getting on a plane and you're going back, right, to where you came from, and you're going to do this the right way, we're bringing them further into the interior of the United States. And that's where, like I said, you once you get, I remember there was a movement about border checkpoints. So when I lived in Arizona, man, we had border checkpoints that we had to, you wanted to go to Tucson or Phoenix, man, you'd run through one of them, right?
Right.
And just state your name of citizenship, your country of citizenship, right? United States.
Yep.
Just burn through. People are like, I don't have to do that, Look, man, there's a reason that these border checkpoints exist a certain mileage into the interior of the United States, because once you get past that, it's hard to really track. I mean, people don't realize how big the United States is compared to, England, right?
Yeah.
Italy, Spain. I mean, we're huge. You don't understand that. I mean, we're basically like half a continent. So once you get into the interior, it's easy to disappear. Especially if you're wanting to do right? You're just wanting to come and work on a farm, build your little homestead, raise your family, keep your head down, live out your days, right? Like most people want to do.
Right.
It's real easy, man. It's real easy for people to come in and disappear, man. Live off the radar.
Right. No, that's great points.
So, anyway, I found Ron DeSantis' response. Let me get over here. So Ron, man, I don't know, man. I like Ron, dude. I think he makes some valid points, and I like his like twisted sister attitude. Like, we're not gonna take it, man, from you crappy media people. Like, I mean, like, it's like he should just play that out. Like, he should play twisted sister. Well, I can't take every media thing whenever he shows up, because maybe that'll shut some of these little yappers up, man. No, lady, look. You know what I mean? Like, here we go.
You know, one of the reasons why we want to transport, because we obviously it's expensive if people are coming here. It taxes social services and all these other things. And so if we can do in a sanctuary, well, then the chance that they come to Florida goes down dramatically. But it is also the case that, you know, every community in America should be sharing in the burdens and shouldn't all fall on a handful of red states. Our message to them is we are not a sanctuary state. And it's better to be able to go to a sanctuary jurisdiction. And yes, we will help facilitate that transport for you to be able to go to greener pastures.
We'll help. We're just facilitating it, man. You know, we're just facilitating this show, man. You know, we're gonna get you over to Martha's Vineyard, bro. I mean, like, you've only been in the country for 2 days. We're moving you in with Obama. You're gonna be rubbing elbows with Michelle, man. You might get invited to the birthday party next year, you know. Oh, I know. You just can't make this up. I mean, it's clown world that we're living in, man.
It is.
It
is.
You know, even that. You remember that Dr. Phil "Cash Me Outside" girl?
No.
She was just a little bratty kid. She brought on Dr. Phil because her mama couldn't do nothing with her, man. She was just like little bad-mouthed, little bad girl, man.
Yeah.
So her name's Bad Barbie or something like that. She did like crappy rap, dude.
Right.
I'm not gonna say crappy rap. I'm just gonna say it ain't my choice of music. Bad Barbie. But you know, what was it? I think I texted you earlier. What was it? Princeton University? Was it Princeton? Oh, I'm sorry. No. Oxford University. The Cash Me Outside girl and OnlyFans star Bad Barbie is invited to speak at Oxford.
Unbelievable, man.
I'm like, what? Like, I don't. Have you ever? Like, here, dude. I gotta find it, man. I got to find it, dude. Like, it's Bad Barbie. It's BHAD. Barbie. I can't even spell this. She doesn't even spell it right. Bad baby, maybe is what.
No.
Dr. Phil.
What are you talking about now?
Right, like this is bad, but 13-year-old out of control behavior. This was 6 years ago, brother. I remember this like it was.
Were you and your mom close when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you love your mother?
Yes. Oh, here go the waterworks.
Do you want her to be happy?
Yes.
Where's your father in all this?
I don't know.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw him?
I don't remember.
Does he have another family? Did you ask to meet that family?
I don't even need to. I don't want to, and I don't need to.
Have you been, sir?
Let's get through some of this. We'll break his copyright. But she's like, "Catch me outside, man!" Like she yells at Dr. Phil, like she gets all like attitudey and stuff. Like, and then she like this was her breaking moment though.
Yeah.
And she's doing like rap.
So fast forward, she's going to Oxford.
Now she's going to Oxford, man. She'll probably be inducted as honorary Oxford graduate. You know, put that on your resume, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, at least you ain't got no student loans to forgive, though, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't make this stuff up.
You can't make this stuff up, man. I mean, like, these are not role models, people.
Yeah.
Quit making these people that really are not productive members of society role models.
Right.
Like, I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it.
I don't either.
Moving along. So, the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina.
Oh, man.
This guy had some hot words this week too, man. Now this guy is a conservative Republican, and I think he's spoken. I think when I first learned about this guy, I think it was before he was lieutenant governor. He spoke at a city council meeting regarding gun control, and it blew me away. The guy's ability to speak. I mean, he's speaking like he's speaking from a pulpit, man. Speaking truth, speaking common sense.
Yeah.
Believes in our maker. Like, we should not be fearing anything that's going on right now. We should be fearing the Lord God Almighty, and praying, praying in the name of Jesus that we all make it out of this sucker. Like, for real, bro. You know what I mean? But we should not be fearing these side-handed tactics of political, I'm going to just call them, man, political dissenters. They have no rule of law. They have no respect for the Constitution. They have no respect for you or I. They have no respect for the American people. We are all too stupid to make decisions for ourselves at this point. Right. That's what I see. That's the rhetoric. We're putting a very small population of people ahead of the majority of people. I think that religious freedoms are going to start being attacked more often, and that really ties into one of the last videos I'm going to play a segment from, and that was a speech that was done. I believe it was yesterday from the White House. But let's talk about the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. So he gave a speech to the people at this. I think it was, where was he at?
North Carolina.
It was the people of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And he says, "I don't care what these blue-haired freaks say."
Oh no,
Mark
he's in
Robinson goes,
Texas.
Goes scorched earth on the woke left. But I like this guy. He speaks truth. He speaks like he's speaking. He's got the fire lit under him, man. You know what I'm saying? He's speaking. It's righteous truth. Yeah. And I'll pontificate on this when we get some of this down. Hopefully we don't catch copyright bans on this. But look, we're just sharing the news, YouTube, and I will dispute anything with you because Forbes. This isn't Forbes' video, right? Forbes took this video from something else, right? So, it's CPAC. This is all for public consumption. This is all for public education. So, if we catch a copyright ban, I will 100% unequivocally dispute it because I'm doing nothing different than what the mainstream media does.
Right.
I'll shut up.
The soldiers standing on the hill. The city council is not the soldiers standing on the hill. You are the soldiers standing on the hill in defense.
You hear that work session on Monday? Just saying.
Of this nation. You are. It is up to you to hold this line. Because we're standing on this hill now, and what do we see? We look down that hill, and who do we see charging up? We see a whole horde being led by Jim Crow Joe, Nasty Nancy, and Chump Schumer. They're coming up the hill followed by a whole raft of socialist nitwits who believe that a baby in the womb is a clump of cells and do not honor life in the womb. They believe that you should not have a firearm to protect yourself, but that you should pay for them to have firearms to protect them. They don't believe that your children should be educated. They believe that they should be indoctrinated. They're dragging up that hill all types of things. CRT, transgenderism, this idea of birthing people. Who in the world came up with that garbage?
I like this guy, man.
Yeah.
I like him,
They're
man.
dragging up this socialist idea that criminals should
strong
not
man.
be punished,
Yeah.
that they should be allowed to run rampant, that our borders should be wide open,
He's
that
just
our
fed up
police
with
should be
nonsense.
demonized,
That our
veterans should
I'm
be
going to pause this real
dishonored.
quick. it's refreshing to see, a conservative actually standing up and speaking like this, because a lot of people who say they're conservatives are just keeping their heads down and, toting the line, man, moving along.
Yeah, for sure.
Bury that head in the sand, man. It'll pass, right?
Yeah.
We're not living in times where stuff is going to pass. I don't believe we are. It's just, it's like the snowball, right? It starts out little snowball at the top of the hill, right?
Right.
But that sucker's catching up momentum, and it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger, and it's getting bigger. We thought, well, it doesn't affect me. Let it slide. Doesn't affect me, right? Well, I don't care what you guys do. You guys have your little club or whatever. You can do whatever you want, right? You can be whoever you want to be, but that's not what it's about. It's not about equality anymore.
Mm-mm. Yep.
It's about domination. It's about breaking the will of the American people, the spirit of America. It's about getting people to question the Constitution in the sake of our democracy. Well, newsflash, idiots. It's not. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. It was built that way for a reason.
Yeah, no doubt. For these times.
For these times. And for the times that our forefathers just got over, right?
Right.
Anybody who, you have to start showing respect for the Constitution. Those are the fundamental things that protect everybody from government, man. Oh, Chris, you got your conspiracy theory hat on. Chris, are you going full X-Files on me? Maybe. I don't know. But whenever more conspiracy theories have turned out true than actual news in the past 2.5, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I don't know. How long do we got to go back, right? All these quote-unquote conspiracy theories have been proven true. When social media companies are blocking active real news prior to an election that could be very, very important for educated voters to understand and know, right? And you're censoring it and you're banning people. You're blocking news agencies. You're kicking the president of the United States off of a social media platform, which is subsidized by what? Taxpayer dollars. I have a freaking problem with it. I'm not being hateful, as some people would say. I'm not a violent extremist, as some people will probably speculate. What I'm saying is this is the crap that has to stop.
Yep.
Either wake up, get your head out of the sand. If you say you're a conservative, then you need to start getting on the wagon and start being vocal and speaking righteous truth to power.
Yeah, because some of this stuff going on is just, it's so unconstitutional. And the people that don't, they thumb their nose to the Constitution, just leave the country. That's all. There's no worries.
Why should I have to leave? Oh, you want to reap the benefits of millions of Americans dying so that you could actually have all the luxury and lavish lifestyle and all the freedoms that you got, right? It's not a problem until somebody takes away something that you want. Takes away your rights. Trump is yours right? I didn't say nothing because it didn't affect me.
Yeah.
I didn't stand up because it didn't affect me. You know what? There's going to come a time when there's not going to be anybody to stand up for you because it doesn't affect them. And then that number, that base just keeps getting dwindled down, and there ain't going to be nobody left.
Yeah.
It's the truth, man.
Yeah.
It's biblical truth.
Yeah.
I look at some of this stuff like a big cancer, man. It just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading.
Yeah. I think we're on common ground.
Yeah. Common ground. Anyhow, let's get back to Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. I love listening to this guy speak. I can listen to him speak for hours, man. But we're not going to go for hours.
Well, he's passionate, man. He sees the changes in this country, and he's sick of hearing the propaganda.
Yeah. Common sense ain't common no more, man. It ain't.
No, it isn't.
And they're also pushing this agenda to tell you that unless you go get a shot, you cannot keep your job or open your business.
I think we just talked about that.
Or go to church. You see those folks that are coming up that hill, there's a word for them. They're called socialists. They're called communists. I just prefer to call them idiots.
I agree.
Now, what are we going to do?
Preach, brother.
What are we going to do? Why do I talk about Joshua Chamberlain and the 20th Maine? I talk about Joshua Chamberlain and the 20th Maine because that is who we come from. We do not come from a weak, ineffective, jellyback people that when trouble happens, we find a safe space and try to find a counselor.
I'm using
to
that
talk
now,
about
jellyback.
Americans stand up and fight for what
Jellyback.
they believe in and will put their lives on the line for what they believe in. They will put their money where their mouth is. And when the times get tough, you had best believe that Americans get going, just like they did on Little Round Top. They don't lay down. They don't back up. They don't quit. They stand up with everything in them and they push forward. You see, we got a lot of things.
The worst thing that can happen, man, is you get knocked down. That's it. You got to get back up, man. You just got to get back up and keep on going, man. And that's the thing. Like, I can't. I think we've lost a couple of generations that understand that concept.
Yeah.
I think we're getting them back. I think that parents that realize the importance of having a family unit, realize the importance of church, realize the importance of having a moral fabric and moral background and doing things right and being honest, right?
Yeah.
I think that they're starting to instill that in their kids, right? Again, finally. But, the amount of people that are just, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it, right? You can do something about it. You can, one, start talking about it on social media. Start your own podcast. Start talking about it. Start engaging with representatives in your community like we are. Start calling out bad actors in your community, right? The truth hurts. It does. I 100% agree with it. If you're doing something wrong and somebody calls you out, it probably bothers you a little bit. But you know what? Truth is truth.
Right.
You can either ignore the truth. I would call that cognitive dissonance. You choose to give yourself a pass if you're doing bad stuff because you have justified this bad behavior so that it's more acceptable for you to digest. There's hope. There's very much so hope. But you need to start holding yourself accountable and listening to people when they do try to hold you accountable. But I encourage everybody to go out and listen to this speech. He's I don't know. I like listening to the guy, man. Like I said, he did that speech at a city council meeting about gun control, and
I think he resonates with a lot of people.
He does.
I think he's saying what a lot of people are thinking, and like you said, are afraid to say. And we're at a turning point in this country, and people need to stand up for what they believe in, and
just taking a page from the playbook, man. See something, say something, right? Well, I'm seeing bad stuff happen. I'm saying something. That's it.
Yeah. Good point.
So that brings us to the president.
Oh no. This just blew me away. This just absolutely. I thought it might have been a fake video, but this is legit.
No, it's legit.
This is legit.
This is legit.
And I know we always check, and you're good about that too. We always check where the information is being pulled for, make sure it's accurate.
Yeah, this is Associated Press, and this was from a summit they did at the White House regarding hate-fueled violence. They did, they did a whole major video. They had some professors out there talking about it, and it really boiled down to the same talking points of trying to guilt one demographic of people into,
I'd urge every conservative senator, governor, and even Democratic governors and senators to boycott this. I mean, it's ridiculous.
They need to call it out. Like, that's the thing is, like, if Trump would have been saying some stuff like this, he would have been called out left and right. And I think, look, I get, like, if there's divisive rhetoric being said from the highest office in the land, it needs to be called out, right? But, like, the whole knee-jerk overreaction, I need a safe space. I'm screaming in the streets because, people getting assaulted for wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Like, but now we're talking about hate-fueled violence at the White House, right? Like, where were all the DOJ arrests for people getting beat in the streets for wearing a MAGA hat, right? Where were all the people being rounded up by the FBI for assaulting elderly people with a MAGA hat on, getting pulled out of their cars and stuff because they had a bumper sticker, right? You remember all that? All that was happening, right? Not seeing this type of weaponization of the Department of Justice and the FBI happening. I'm sorry. Probably just got us on a list, but I'm speaking truth, right? Where were all the arrests? Where were all the investigations? Where were the prosecutions, right?
Yeah, I totally agree.
None.
Yeah, there is nothing done. I urge everybody to reach out to their senators, their state representatives.
Where was the FBI at? Where was the FBI at whenever Trump was basically pushed into the bunker because the White House was getting mobbed and they burnt down the church across the street? Where's all the people? Where's the committee on that? Right.
Yeah. No excuses. I mean, it goes back to when it's time to vote, people really need to take a hard look on what your state representatives, your senators are doing, your governors are doing. You need to reach out to them and ask them these questions. Ask them, are you going to denounce what the President of the United States just did here? And if they say no, then you know where you're going to vote. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, they don't align with your values at the end of the day. So
this is only a minute and 34. I'm going to play this, Mark. I'm going to mute, and I'm going to step away for a moment. But I'm going to let this play for a moment, and then I'll be right back.
All right.
Have determined that domestic terrorism, rooted in white supremacy, is the greatest terrorist threat to our homeland today. So we convene this summit to make clear what the story of our time must be. It has to be a story in which each and every one of us has a vital role to play, a story with this message from the White House. United, united, united we stand. We're going to use every federal resource available to help communities counter hate-fueled violence, build resilience, and foster greater national unity. For example, trainings on identifying, reporting, and combating hate-fueled violence for local law enforcement agencies, workplaces, and houses of worship. Partnerships with schools that help them address bullying and harassment. I'm calling for a new era of national service through organizations like AmeriCorps to foster stronger communities and bridge divides in our society. And I'm calling on Congress to do its part. Raise the living allowance for national service positions to equivalent of $15 an hour. This would make national service an accessible pathway to success for more Americans of all backgrounds. And I'm going to say it again. I am not going to stop till we ban assault weapons. We have to ban assault weapons. I mean it.
He's gonna like finish off with that little punch, right? I mean, I just think that this is inciting at this point, man.
He says, "United we stand," and I mean, with him, it's divisive.
United we stand, divided we fall. I think he really wants this nation to fall at this point, man. I mean, there's just something not right, man. I mean, I think a lot of people feel this. Is this the type of future you want for your kids? That would be the question that I would ask myself.
I don't want my kids hearing that kind of nonsense coming from the President of the United States. It's disrespectful. It's
disrespectful to every service member that has ever served and fought and died for this country. It's disrespectful to our Constitution. It's a blatant violation of his oath of office.
Right.
It's government overreach.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
This is what a dictator sounds like. Not to mention his, red background video that I think everybody's probably already seen. But you remember that, right?
Oh, yeah.
With the Marines in the background. I mean, that was just so cringe, man. It was so cringe, man.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I think that brings us to the end of the road.
Talked about night, man. It was a good night, man. That stuff, this is craziness, man. Again, it goes back to what you said before. you can only take care of your area, your neighborhood, and your local area and your politics, and that's what you got to focus on.
Yep.
You can't focus on this nonsense. This is coming out of Washington, D.C.
But if you start focusing on the stuff happening in your backyard, in your city, in your community, in your schools, you can turn it around so fast that like they ain't gonna know what hit them.
Right.
Get out, run for office, talk to your political leaders. If you don't want to run for office, be of service to those political leaders in your community, and be up their butt talking to them.
Right. Right.
Like we are.
That's what you got to do.
You know, that's it. I think that's it. We didn't open the phone lines up tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. You know, I don't know how many viewers we got. I can't see it right now, but
hit it next week, man.
Yeah, we've got a lot coming up in the future. We've got more political candidates that are running for different ward positions coming up. We have we've got that live stream that we're going to do out at Lake Point Event Center for the mayoral candidate forum.
Yeah,
and then we have another interview with Randy, I think, after that.
Yeah.
So
October 6th.
Got a lot coming up, and feel free to shoot us an email if you want to get on the show. If you got something you want to talk about, we might be able to squeeze you in. That being said, I think we're going to call it. You good?
I'm good. Have a great weekend, everybody.
All right. Take care. Stay happy, healthy, humble. Go out on a boat tour. Enjoy nature.
Check out Captain Al, man.
Get out of the house.
Yep.
Be nice to others.
Idea.
That's it. Till then, we'll see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. We out of here.
Take it easy, everybody.
Same movie.